well, what would my character do in this situation? I remember I had one of the most craziest scenes. I had to suck Rick Fox's toes. And it was like, wait, what the hell? But it's commit to the bit.
So, Wendy, I'm going to start with you as this is your directorial debut.
Yes, darling, it is.
Let's go. Let's go. What is it about this project and pulling together this cast of actors that you loved and made you sign on and say yes?
Wow, I have to start with the script, because if it's not on the page, it's not going to translate to the screen at all. And I had an opportunity to work with the writer on many other projects, Charlotte Boyer. And when she came to me with this project, after we developed it and worked through it and really just, it became salacious. And I love a good script with a twist and a turn that you never saw coming. And once we assembled the cast and, Swirl Films jumped on and BT her, and it happened really, really fast. But we have been working on this for like almost a year and a half. So I was just really drawn to the writing and to the characters, and especially seeing how multi-layered they were. They weren't just these beautiful stick figures with nothing behind them. Everybody had an intention. They all had a motivation. They all had some trickery and some deceit in their lives. And I think that also, as an artist and as an actor, I think it gave them a lot to chew off. Is that right? To chew, to chew, to chew on, to chew, to chew on, to chew on, to chew off, and to spit it out, swallow it, and digest it. Yeah.
So, April, for you, Stephanie is a character who is sometimes underestimated, but proves to be a little more complex than, is what is first let on. So, talk to me a little bit about that theme of being underestimated and Stephanie's journey in the film.
Stephanie was a trip. I think that a lot of people, when they see this movie, they're going to be able to relate to her because, like most women, we've had a bad relationship. Women have been cheated on and all the things. But like to be able to be the viewer on the outside and kind of see it and be like, well, I can place myself in her shoes, but not really know that she's going to flip in the way that she does was pretty cool. And to be able to be the person on the opposite side with people being able to watch that and play that and pull to be able to display it for the world was pretty awesome. Like it was fun. It was a good time.
So, Cynthia, for you, Maxine is sophisticated. She is successful, yet, she's involved in an affair. So, what was it like balancing her, the professional side that we see and her code of ethics there with sort of her extracurricular activities and where we find her?
That was definitely the balance for me was definitely a struggle because I had so much going on both sides. But at the end of the day, playing the role of Maxine as a psychotherapist, I'm representative of a safe healing space. That's what it looks like I'm supposed to be doing. And then I have all these other shenanigans going on. So, and I had to like snap in and out. Like on one hand, I'm like, basically stalking, Mason. And then you see me back at the office and I'm like, so tell me how you're feeling. How did this make you feel when this happened? And then I'm back to like, yeah, it was me. So it was fun. It was really fun to show all of those different layers, especially for me as someone who is a new and growing actress. I'm still learning. This is my first lead and all that good stuff. So I have been tested. I've definitely walked away from this film feeling like, okay, I can do this. I am on the right road.
Yes, you are.
I love that, Cynthia, you mentioned being a new actress. And Wendy, I want to go back to you for a second. So for many years, I'm from LA. I have always known not just of you professionally, but of you and your Amazing Grace Conservatory teaching students, the craft of acting and expanding them out. So stepping in as a director, how did that sort of those early seeds, as well as your experience in front of the camera, sort of create this environment to foster and pull all of that together?
Wow. Well, first of all, thank you. Because Amazing Grace, that's my passion project, and that's the greatest footprint I will leave on this planet. But I think it made it a seamless transition. I felt on this film set like, oh, I've been doing this. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. This is all I do. I put on 3 shows a year with the school. And it's like, wow, it became, I felt safe. I brought everything that I knew from theater and everything I knew from TV and film and all of that to this set and what I look for in a director. You know, because as actors, we're like little babies. It was like, well, how was it? Was it okay? Do I look good? You know, all those little voices in our head. And I was able to just really bestow upon my actors everything that I wanted to hear, not only as an actor, but now I was finally in a position as a director to just really, y'all got this, you know, and I came up with the key word, sparkle, shine, you know, because every now and then we need that little, that extra nudge to just take us over there. But working with AGC has just really helped me transition. I was leaving set and going to get props. I was ordering so many different props and things for the characters. Like I wanted, you know, a whip for Cynthia. You know, I'm on Amazon, you know, in the kinky section, you know, getting getting stuff I need for me, you know. So it's like, but what would I do as an actor if I had to be in those particular roles? So it just really, it helped me to create a sandbox and a safe space for them. I hope.
It did.
Thanks. Thank you, April.
You're welcome.
So for you ladies collectively, we know that there's obviously themes of infidelity, complexities revolving relationships and pulling that together. What do you hope the audience pulls away from each of your characters' perspectives in this?
Oh.
Mm.
Okay. All right. I'll go.
Okay.
I hope that the audience pulls away from Maxine um the fact that you just can't judge a book by its cover. You just cannot. People are not always who they look like. And also trusting that your instincts and your intuition, if you feel like something's not right in your relationship, sometimes there's something going on there. And then also, you know, the fact that every action, with every action, there's going to be a reaction. And a lot of that is happening throughout the movie because, you know, at the end of the day, like we all are in situations and we're reacting to our situations that we're in. So I feel like it's very relatable, and everyone from, you know, myself, April, Blue, and Darius, like, you know, this is a great date night movie. This is not just for women. Like, this
Yeah.
is something watch with your boo, your husband. I feel like everyone is gonna have a lot of takeaways and a lot of conversation after watching this movie because there's something that there's someone that everyone can relate to.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think for Stephanie, just like, you know, I would want people to pull away from the fact like people aren't to be underestimated. Like don't underestimate people. You know, you got to be careful with the choices that you choose in life because they do come with a consequence. And so, you know, you see her as this beautiful woman who wants what, you know, to keep her marriage together. And she's going to do anything by all means to keep it. And so yeah, I would just say, you know, don't underestimate folks, because folks out here get a little cray.
Mhm.
Just a little bit, a little crack crack.
Just a little bit. It's like post-COVID.
Yeah.
Is it really post-COVID though, or is
I
it
know, right? I
always
listen, I'm just giving
Friday?
everybody grace. Everybody gets a little grace.
And that's important.
Yeah.
So also we see, you know, one of the primary issues it seems with both couples is that loss of spark, that loss of fire that inevitably can come with a long-term relationship. So would you we also hope that the audience will pick up on, you know, healthy ways maybe to keep the sparks going or to address it, since Maxine is a therapist, how they can address it sometime before, you know, we spin off and we find ourselves with other issues added on to that.
Mm.
Well, for me, I just hope that when people watch this film, that they see that like women, you know, we just want to be loved and we want to be cared for. We want to have that, you know, have value and like from our partner, the ones that we choose. Marriage is not small. So are, you know, in a marriage, like show up for me, love me, like don't give that love that I just so desperately am yearning for to another woman. So I want, you know, people to see that like, you know, if you really want something to work, to use your communication to go to therapy, but fine, not in our case scenario, but a real healthy therapist.
Mm,
And like
mm.
really, you've got to really want to put in the work, to make your relationships work. So don't watch what we doing and do it. Go the opposite way.
Right, right. Well,
Wow.
and I would just like to add, normally in a normal situation outside of this movie, therapy is usually a good thing for
Yes.
sure. Not so much in this particular movie, but I will say, I think that in relationships, like in April and Blue's relationship, Blue was kind of like pushing her away, and then she went and found love somewhere else because I don't think women, especially women, I don't think we just wake up and decide to cheat on our husbands. I think we are pushed in a lot of ways, and we have to be, if you are depleted and you're empty and you meet someone that's pouring into you, you're going to receive it. It's just the way it is. And
Mhm.
then for me, I was the opposite. I basically, was pushing my husband away for whatever reason in the movie. And for me, the grass was greener somewhere else. We had, lost whatever we had in our marriage, and Blue was the answer to what I thought. I thought Blue was my answer to what I was going through in my marriage. And so I guess what I'm trying to say is, you know, when you're with your person, things, you just have to align with them in so many ways, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, sexually, all the things. Relationships are not easy, but I
Mm-mm.
will say, communication and love and trust, all of those things really are the nucleus of what a healthy relationship should look like. And all the other stuff is like bonuses at the end of the day, if you've got all the other great things that come with it. But, you know, we people with every action there's a reaction, and I think everyone's reacting to their situations in this movie, and that's life. That's just how
Yeah.
it is.
And it takes work. Relationships take work. And what's interesting as I listen to this, the things that Maxine brought into her affair, it's like, well, why don't we spice it up at home first? You know what I mean? Bring the whips, bring the toys, and the same thing with, Stephanie. If Stephanie had maybe brought some of that, the soft and the sweet and the ice cream. And even though, Mason was doing his thing, but everything that he wanted outside of the marriage, sometimes we need to see, well, what can I do to bring this to the marriage before I have to go outside and find it? I don't know. I'm a hopeless romantic. My parents were married damn near 70 years. So I believe in love at all costs. I know it's not easy, but there is a way that you can spice it up at home first.
Mhm.
So yeah. God bless me and it'll happen again. And I'm going to add some sugar and spice.
Listen, we can receive that all around if you ladies are into it, Not, we can do that. So last question in wrapping up, you have to bring intimacy sort of quickly in situations like this. When you're talking relationships and closeness, so as a director and as actors, what do you do to kind of ramp up that closeness that you want to portray on screen in roles like this?
Ooh. Well, I know for
Uh,
me, I want to talk about as an actor how I approach it. It's immediately it's just jumping in, and it's like, okay, well, what would my character do in this situation? I remember I had one of the most craziest scenes. I had to suck Rick Fox's toes, and it was like, wait, what the hell? But it's commit to the bit, because if you're not in it mentally, physically and all of that, it will read. And just try and bring truth and believability to everything, and just trust your scene partner. It's like we had days, you show up, hi, my name's Wendy, and you're, oh, Carl, great, okay, and we're going to get in the bed and we're going to just roll around, and okay, we're good with that, right? And it's just sometimes, breaking it off with a laugh, getting to know them, jump in. That's just my take, but hopefully they were comfortable enough with ladies.
Oh no, yeah, no, I agree. But we had a really good cast, so it was easy. But that's the form of art, is doing and trying and
Yes.
experiencing things that like April wouldn't normally do, but maybe Stephanie would do. So, it was really easy to do that. The scenes with Darius and I really didn't have much with my husband, but Blue has made us all comfortable on set too. So yeah, it's also the chemistry. So yeah.
Yeah, I would say that. And for me, this was my first sex scene. Like, it's on desk, and I was just having sex. I was all over the place. I don't think I've ever had this much sex in my life than I had in this movie. So I had to stay already all the time. And I will say for me, Blue made me feel very comfortable. That really helped. And just, we just had fun with it and I just let it go. Like I remember the first day was like the sex scene on the desk with the lingerie where we just go in and I'm like, oh shit. Like I just thought like, could that be day number 8 or something? But it was the first day. And I just pretty much really officially met Blue. So but I just jumped right in. But one of the things that I learned, and I learned this on this movie, and I've never really told anyone this. I haven't really done a lot of kissing scenes before. And I didn't know how to act kiss really. And I'm like, when I kiss, I'm just putting the tongue in, I'm kissing for real. And I noticed with Blue, he was kissing me, but he wasn't really doing. I was like, oh shit, we're not supposed to like put tongue in. Like I literally learned how to movie kiss on this movie because the 1 or 2 times that I've done it before, I was slanging all kind of tongue. I'm sorry.
And it depends. It depends. It depends on where you are, how you are. I wish you would have told me you was slanging that tongue. I would have been like, okay.
No, but but that was an art to it because I was like, we were kissing. I'm like, oh, we're kissing. Okay, okay. And I was so embarrassed to be like, oh shoot, sorry, I put tongue in there. I didn't know. But I was putting all this good tongue in his mouth, and I'm not getting nothing over here. I was like, oh, we're acting. Sorry.
Well, honey, if that comes up again, you just say, darling, I'm a method actor.
Yes.
Okay.
Method actor.
And you know what? And I know we're joking around, but we had a wonderful intimacy coordinator as well for a lot of the scenes that, how can we make this as palatable? Because I didn't want to do anything that was X-rated or to this or to that. I think all of the scenes are very tasteful. That was my biggest objective. And because my mama gonna be watching. And so but our intimacy coordinator was great in just making it just enough where okay, everybody is satisfied, but it's not going too far and compromising any of the ladies' integrity or any of the gentlemen's, and putting too much out there.